Kozhikode has always been a city of ideas, a city where reform, culture, and progress have coexisted with compassion. It is therefore fitting that we begin this new initiative here in a city that represents Kerala's conscience. Today's inauguration is not merely the opening of a new office or an administrative division. It is the beginning of a mission of hope, protection, and empowerment. The Women's Safety Division will serve as the nerve center of our statewide efforts to ensure that women in Kerala can live, work, travel, and dream without fear. We have always believed that a woman's safety is the truest indicator of the society's civilization. The prosperity of our state, the progress of our families, and the peace of our communities all depend on how we treat and protect our women. Kerala has long been proud of its social achievements. High literacy, health standards, gender awareness. Yet, even in our progressive society, women continue to face challenges in public spaces, in workplaces, and most painfully, in their own homes. This new division is a response, a structured response. We would like to make it a little more scientific also, and most importantly, a compassionate response to these realities that exist in our society today. The Women's Safety Division would like to integrate all efforts related to the women's security, be it the physical security, digital security, social and emotional security. Under one single umbrella, it will coordinate all these aspects related to the women's security. You are aware that we have a host of initiatives to meet the women's security challenges like pink patrols, women's cells, counseling centers, cyber police station units, the community police savings, and the victim support and legal aid systems. I am sure that all these various initiatives of ours will come under one umbrella. It will not merely react to the crimes, but proactively engage in awareness, prevention, and empowerment. It will map vulnerabilities, track emerging trends in offenses, and use data analytics and field insights to guide our interventions effectively. This division will also act as the policy and a training hub, ensuring that every police officer, from constable on the street to the investigator in the police station, is trained in sensitivity, professionalism, and gender awareness. This particular point I was emphasizing with all my colleagues. Any woman comes to the police station, how we should approach her, how we should handle her issues. This is a great challenge to the police today, and we are trying our best to improve in this regard. We are all aware that the domestic violence is a hidden crisis. As my colleague mentioned, both Mr. Narayanan as well as Srimati Ajita about they are aware, being the field practitioners, the extent of the issue. The domestic violence victims convergence meeting today that we are going to inaugurate today is equally significant because it deals with a reality often hidden behind the closed doors, the silent suffering of countless women within their homes. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It is a deep wound in the moral fabric of our society. When a woman is unsafe in her own home, every wall of our society trembles. This I speak with full conviction and full awareness of the intensity and the expanse of the issue. The law, the Protection of the Women from Domestic Violence Act, it gives us a framework, but our responsibility goes beyond enforcement. We must ensure that every victim is treated with respect, every complainant is taken seriously, and every woman who gathers courage to come forward finds a system that listens, supports, and stands by her. I request all my colleagues, mainly in the police stations, to be aware of this particular thing, that listening, supporting, and standing by the victim who is coming forward to the police station. This is the utmost important aspect. That's why the today's convergence here, bringing together police officers, counselors, protection officers, legal aid experts, doctors, NGOs, and community volunteers. It is so vital. It reflects our collective belief that only a collaborative, coordinated response can truly help victims to rebuild their lives. I always believe that empathy and professionalism are two pillars which should shape our policy. Law enforcement is not just about FIR, investigation, or court case. It is also about trust. The trust a victim places in us when she comes to a police station seeking help, that trust is a very sacred one. We all must, in uniform, try and protect that trust. We must respond not with bureaucracy, but with empathy and efficiency. The first few minutes of our response often decides whether a victim feels rescued or re-traumatized. Here again, I would like to emphasize and urge my colleagues in uniform to be sensitive about it. How we deal, one is the speed at which we deal and the correctness at which we handle the issue, whether the victim feels rescued or re-traumatized. That is why we have been investing in training, gender sensitizing programs, and victim-friendly infrastructure across Kerala Police. The Women's Safety Division will now bring all these efforts under one coordinated and monitored system. You are aware that today's violence and harassment no longer happen only in physical spaces. It has become a new frontier of the digital space has become the new frontier of crime, from cyber stalking and impersonation to online exploitation and blackmail. A host of victims day in and day out are subjected to this risk. The Women's Safety Division will strengthen our cybercrime cells, collaborate closely with social media platforms, technical experts, and community volunteers to ensure that every woman's dignity, both digital dignity, is also protected. We are also developing AI-assisted monitoring systems, better cyber forensics, and digital literacy campaigns to educate young girls, parents, and teachers on safe online practices. Here, I would like to emphasize on the Kerala police model of the community partnership. No police system in the world can ensure women's safety through enforcement alone. The real safety is a culture, not a command. That culture must be built through partnerships between the police and people, between government and community. Kerala has always shown the way through through initiatives like Janmaitri Suraksha Padati, community-based rehabilitation programs, and a host of other initiatives. The Women's Safety Division will certainly strengthen these linkages further. We will work with the schools, colleges, Kutumbashri units, and local self-governments, creating awareness networks that reach every home and every girl child. This initiative is also about empowering the women in Kerala police. Our women officers, from Pink Patrol to Station House officers, have been symbols of strength and compassion. They are the bridge between the police force and the community, particularly women in distress. We are committed to giving them greater leadership roles, better facilities, and stronger institutional support so that they perform their duties to the best of their abilities. We are full that when the women lead, policing becomes more humane, effective, and more trusted. Friends, the true success of this initiative will not be measured by the number of offices we inaugurate or reports we publish. It will be measured by the number of smiles we restore, the lives we protect, and the trust we earn. As we launch this Women's Safety Division and begin this convergence meeting, let us make a collective pledge that no woman in Kerala will ever feel alone in her fight for safety and justice. That every police officer will not be just an enforcer of law, but a guardian of dignity. That our homes will become the safest spaces, not the scariest ones. And that Kerala will continue to be a beacon of progressive policing, compassionate in approach, firm in action, and inclusive in vision. Let this day mark a new beginning, a beginning where our systems are strengthened, our hearts are opened, and our commitment is renewed. Let this Women's Safety Division be the voice of voiceless, the shield for the vulnerable, and the symbol of Kerala's unwavering resolve to protect every woman, everywhere, every time. Hope this particular new initiative of us will take us a long way in ensuring the women's safety, and most importantly, giving the required amount of succor to the women in need. It is my urge and my earnest urge to all my colleagues in the police stations, whenever a woman visits the police station, we shall treat with her with utmost amount of empathy. As our Ajita mentioned that we should bring a smile to her face. I hope that will happen, and that will happen every time any person comes to the police station. She or she gets the required amount of attention quickly, and gets the succor that she deserves. With these few words, I inaugurate this Women's Safety Divisions and also the Domestic Violence Convergence meeting here. Hope that our discussions will take a long way in enhancing the women's safety and the trust in the police. Thank you all. Jai Hind.